Brilliance Audio.
The Fallen Stones. Chasing Butterflies, Discovering Mayan Secrets, and Looking for Hope Along the Way. By Diana Marcum. Performed by Stacy Gonzalez. Raise up your glass and revel while it lasts. End of the World. Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. 1. The Very Bad Vacation. As a girl, anytime I'd pick up a library book, I'd flip through each option, skimming the story, and put the book back on the shelf if it began with a couple who was already together. What was the point of reading anything without a budding romance? So I'm loath to mention Jack Moody right at the start. But we were already a couple. On the verge of breaking up, should that add any intrigue, when we discovered Belize and the butterfly farm that would come to obsess me. We often joked that our relationship was like an arranged marriage. We'd known each other forever without romantic inclination. He was the divorced single father of two who lived down the street, a photojournalist at the same paper where I was a writer. Several other Jacks worked there, hence my newsroom habit of using his last name. I found him cranky. He considered me flighty. Then, one summer, after his kids were grown, after we no longer worked at the same paper, we fooled around and fell in love, as the Elvin Bishop song goes. Despite our personality quibbles, we could vouch for the other being basically decent, and anyone who's dated enough knows that's nothing to scoff at. It wasn't until after I'd moved to an island in the middle of the Atlantic that Moody had an epiphany and called to say, "I love you." I found his timing suspicious, considering I was 6,000 miles away. He flew from California to the Azores Islands twice, and we, being older and attempting to be wiser, negotiated the relationship as if we were two families haggling over the number of goats to be exchanged. Once we settled our negotiations, we congratulated ourselves on our fine matchmaking skills. We liked recalling incidents of prior disinterest. That time I'd been planning to break up with a doctor and Moody had said, "But he's a catch, and he doesn't even mind the way you laugh." How I tried to set Moody up with my single girlfriends, telling them, "He doesn't say much, but he's handsome if you like that standard astronaut baseball player kind of face," from back when those types all looked the same. It was a sweet and easy-breezy arrangement. Until I landed a journalism fellowship at Harvard. For me, the fellowship was a chance to right an ancient wrong. I had not gone to college, when deep down I believed I was destined to be a scholar. This was an opportunity to fix that. At Harvard, I might become the kind of person who could readily locate countries on a map, accurately define the waves of feminism, and really get photosynthesis. And just the idea, Harvard. I'd never dreamed they'd let me nose around there. Moody liked the idea of leaving our California home and spending a year on the East Coast. He wanted to go to baseball games at Fenway Park, eat pizza with a crust that drooped off both sides of his hand, and photograph unfamiliar terrain. We packed up our two dogs and moved to Cambridge. But my idea of the fellowship turned out to be a Martian taco. My friend Michael Mayhew, alliteration demands the use of both names, coined this concept back when we were teenagers. He used it to defend his inexplicable love of Jack-in-the-Box tacos, a disgusting concoction at a fast food chain. A Martian taco. Imagine someone described a taco to a Martian who had never actually seen one. A crunchy, folded, edible container filled with something
Sample complete. Ready to continue?